Hi friends of Bunny Hollow Crafts. I'm going to tackle the wedding album that I was going to make with my own wedding pictures from 39 years ago. So this process takes us through making the album itself. So please join me. I hope this inspires you. It was a lot of fun to do. Let's just get going. Starting work on the wedding album, I've been down one path and figured out that wasn't right. So I'm starting over, and what I learned is that I want to use the entire piece of this 8.5 with wedding photos. The way I matted them, I'm going to need all that space, right? So the way I've figured out to do that is to cut, there I'm going to have 5 pages in the album. So I've cut 10 strips of 1-inch paper, and I'm just scoring it. I'll just show you. Just get one of these and just scoring the inch in half. And I'm going to fold and burnish all of these and then attach them to the back of these, right? And then that'll be the same as your flap. I just don't have the room to fold the flap from that. And I don't have 12 by 12. That's why I'm going through this process. So it's a lot, but it's gonna work. Well, I've come upon a system for putting these little strips on that works better for me anyway. Seems a little unorthodox, but putting it on the paper first instead of on the little tab, or the whatever you want to call that, connector piece. But if you put it on the paper, you can actually get closer to the edge and you know it's there. Okay? So that's how I've been doing the last couple, and it's worked better. So get as close as you can to the edge. And then I found putting the little strip onto the tape is easier than putting the taped strip onto the paper, if that makes sense. And all you gotta do is, okay, I did burnish that down. Come off of there. Just pull it back and turn your strip inside and just put it up there. Match your corner. And it's just pretty simple. I kind of like this method a lot. Now, I don't like this method for, I'd rather fold the flap than have to add the flap. But given that I need to use the whole 8.5 by 11, I get it. So that one I got on just a hair short. I don't know if you can see, tape right there, which put it a little long here. I'm just going to trim it off. There we go. So put the other flap on. I know why I got it long is because I didn't want to get my head in the camera. I'll bring it up here. Here we go. I like that, actually. I've tried glue, I've tried tape, I've tried all of it. This works the best. I'll tell you what, black shows everything. I don't know what that little GB is there. Okay, so let's put tape on these flaps again. I was using glue, and I kind of like it, but especially on the black, it leaves a mess, and I don't like that. And black just shows everything. But I want to use black so it will, be a good background for the photos and the paper and stuff that I have planned. Okay, so tape close to the edge. Burnish down, and we'll just take a piece of paper. This is a full 8.5 by 11. Pull that down. I've even kind of changed this. I'm just kind of worried about the top and not the corners like I have been. And it seems to be working. Yeah, I like that. Actually, a lot. What that is in there. Yeah, black just shows everything. So smooth that down really well. Clay tape. Okay, that's the method I'm going to use to build my pages, and I'm going to make 5 of them. Okay, you are now looking at 4 pieces of 8.5 by 11. 1, 2, 3, 4, all joined together with a little bit of glue. And I'm going to cover my chipboards for the album cover. They are 9 inches tall by 11.5 wide. So they'll fit in here something like this. And it's a 3-inch spine. So I'm just going to lay them in here and trim my edges because I know I have extra paper. I'm going to get that spine right in the middle of where those are joined. I think it would look better on the outside for a finished look. So just kind of hold them in here. And then I'm just going to make a mark and trim. And I'm going to put this into fast forward too, because you've seen me do this a million times. So I'll just cover it in fast forward. And you guys, this is going to be a fun process. I'm using my own wedding pictures, and I just cannot wait to get this finished. So you don't have to be too pretty on your cutting on your edges because it's going to get covered up. So I'm just whacking it off. All right, I have a little something to say about using glue to put down your chipboards. I had to break for lunch, and I used the glue, as you could see, and all the wet, it kind of warped. So I'm not sure I will do that again. I go back to my score tape. But as I left for lunch, I took some heavy paper pads, and just set them on there, very heavy, and broke for about 20 minutes. So now it's all dry, so we're going to start to wrap it up. So let me take you through that process. Where is my pokey tool? There it is. that issue, I don't know what caused that, if it was the tip or the glue. That is a art glitter glue bottle, but inside is Bearly Art glue. I just like that size bottle, and I ran out of, I've got both kinds of glue, and I just love that size of the bottle, so that's what I'm using. Oops, didn't turn in the corners. Let's try to do a better job this time. Just kind of fold that in. Yeah, I think I got it this time. Yeah, it's like the glue just kind of bubbled up inside. I don't know, and it forced the tip off. And that's what happened. That was really weird. Okay, so this tool, push that up against there. Okay, and just push it down. My hands still feel a little bit wet from the sink. Oh, those are much nicer corners. Flatten that one down. Okay, and don't worry about the messy cut, because those things are easy to be fixed. Okay, you saw me put the Tyvek in there, so let's score just gently. I'm going to use the bigger ball end of my tool. So there goes that side, and then just gentle. It looks like I'm rubbing hard, but I'm not really. Okay, so there's our album. It's a chunky, big guy. I like the size. So let's, next thing to do is do the hinge. So let me take you through that and put this away. Okay, for my hinge, I have 2 pieces of paper. I know it's going to take 2 pieces. And they are 7 3/4 tall by the hole 8 1/2. So I'm going to start on this one because I'll write on it and you'll see, make this really simple. So in this album, I'll show you why I buy 2 1/2 inches. Let me get the album out. Oh, this is the other one. This is the one I messed up on. A long story I'll say for another date. But when you put your hinge in here, you need some space, right, to glue it down. So given that this is 8 1/2 long, I want it to come back a little bit further. Yeah, this, I pried off what I'm going to be putting in the other album. Yeah, anything is undoable. You just have to put your mind to it. And I got it off of there, and you can't even tell. And I repaired the album, so I'll use that one for something else. All right, so my first score is going to be 2 1/2. Boy, that looks small. I want to do 3. I think I will do 3. No, I'm going to do 2 1/2. Because I remember how it ended up. We ended up with a 1/2 inch down there, and that was really nice as compared to the gingerbread album where it ended up with my inch. All right, so we got 5 pages. So before every page, you need a gusset, and all gussets in my little world are 1/2 inch. I like just keeping the measurements on halves and wholes. It's much easier. So from my 2 1/2, I'm gonna go to 3 for my 1/2 inch gusset, which falls before every page. To build a page, you need 2 sections that are 1 inch wide. So from the 3, we're going to go to 4 for one of them, and from 4 to 5 for the other. Okay? That's one page, those 2 scores. So after every page, 1/2 inch gusset. There it is at 5 1/2. So from 5 1/2 for our inch, we'll go to 6 1/2, and from 6 1/2 to 7 1/2. And of course, after a page, a 1/2 inch gusset. Okay, another page would be from 8 to 9, and from 9 to 10, and then we have room for our 1/2 inch gusset, which leaves us with our 1/2 inch. This was easier, less bulky to attach to the piece of paper that we're going to have to attach it to. So let's do that real quickly, because this is only, let's count up, I'll show you. Where's my pencil? This is 1 page, 2 pages, 3 pages, so we need 2 more on this piece of paper. So I'm going to use glue and put it right here, staying away from the score line. And I'm going to attach this piece of paper a little distance away from the score line. I'm not going to try to get so close to it. I am going to try to get it straight. Yeah, so I'm a good 1/8 of an inch away from that score line. And I'm not sure that I'm perfectly straight, but it's going to be just fine. Okay, so we'll give that a minute to dry and we'll go back in the scoreboard. Okay, so our last mark was this 1/2 inch gusset, right? So let's put it at a whole number. I'm going to go to 4 right there. So it was from 4 to 4.5, right, for our gusset. Why wasn't that in there right? Okay. Okay, so from 4.5 to 5.5 for your next inch, right? So we're back to our pages. So we need to go to 6.5. So that's another page with our 1/2 inch gusset. Then another 1/2 inch gusset and one more page. So from 7 to 8, 8 to 9, our 1/2 inch gusset, which falls after every page. And then I'm going to go down here and just make a mark. I'm going to cut right there. And this side will be the same as that. So let's pencil in. This is 4 and that's 5. Now let's fold it up. Actually, I'm going to cut that and then we'll fold it up. So let me pull in my bigger cutter because it does not leave that frazzled edge on the paper like the Fiskars trimmer does. And we'll just cut this at that mark. Okay, so to the scrap bin, which is getting so full, nothing else wants to go in it. Okay, so glue aside. I'm going to turn it to the side, and it's easier to see on black, I think. Everywhere you have the 2 1-inch segments, you want to fold those towards each other. So fold it up. It's a little awkward, that first one. The whole paper wants to raise up, but you got it. It's just folding your 1-inch together. Then I like to bring my score tool in and just really burnish it. Lay it both directions. So you just got to start. All this pre-folding will help us as we get going. So there's our 1/2 inch gusset and another of our 2 inches that we need to fold up. Lay it down that way, lay it down that way. Score it really well, or burnish it really well, I mean. Let's do them both while we're at it, right? Fold it back that way. Do those both. Here's the next one. Down that way. Down that way. I just love how it folds. It looks like a cummerbund to me. Okay. So there's 3. Here's 4. Back that direction. Okay, and then our last one. Get them to all fall in there. There we go. Just burnish it really, really well. The more you work them both directions, I mean, your pages are going to have to turn, right? So it's just good for it to get the pre-practice. It'll help when we build it. So very nice, right? All right, let's put it together. I don't think it matters whether you use glue or tape. I'm going to use glue because it's a little faster, I think. So you just want to go to your 1-inch segment. It doesn't matter which side of you do this one or the other one, but you just need glue on one of them, right? So I want to use a lot of it because this is our hinge, all right? Okay, so just lay it forward. It'll fall right into place from all that folding that we did. Since this is glue, I'm going to hold it for a minute. Tape is instant. Glue, not so much. Got a little seeping out down there. See, I had to get a different rag. I took that one to the kitchen sink to work on the tip. And I just left it in there and got a fresh one. So back into your next 1 inch. And that one, again, just lays straight forward. That's why I like building hinges. It's just, there's a set of rules. If you follow them, it's going to work out. I love a sure thing. Okay, just giving it a chance to dry. This glue. Let's go to the next one. Okay, fold that down. Spread it out really well. Okay, another one. And this is where we join the two papers, and I liked it ending up on the 1/2 inch and staying away a little bit from the score line. It wasn't in the way when I scored the next time. Just lay that one down. And one more. I want to get this album wrapped up in the next couple of days because, you know, Thanksgiving is coming and then we're going to be leaving. So I want this done before we go away. And I've wanted to do this for a number of years, get my pictures out of that book. I mean, it's just falling apart, and having them on a digital format just makes my heart happy. But it'll also make my heart happy to put it in a book with good old-fashioned glue and tape and paper. All right, so there is the hinge. Beautiful. Just work it. That's still glue in there, it's still wet. Okay. I love it. Let's stick it in the album. Let me find the right album this time. Here it is. I just laid it flat up there. Okay. Okay. Let me be honest too and tell you, I'm going to get another piece of Tyvek, but I'm wondering why. And the reason, and maybe this is not good Tyvek. I don't know. 14 pounds. Is there a better one? I don't know. Tyvek is. I thought Tyvek was Tyvek, but I will tell you, when I peeled, let me get it. Excuse my arm. When I peeled that out of the book, the Tyvek kind of came apart. So I don't know, but I'm going to reuse this. It's got our names and the wedding party and all that, and I'm going to put that on the inside front cover. But even though that happened, I'm still going to put another piece of Tyvek in here. I want the album to last longer than the pictures. So I'm trying to get my cutter out to cut that down. Got stuff everywhere. Okay, so I'm just going to cut down just like a 1/4 inch. I just want to have a little extra room, not worry about it showing. I will say I had to work to get that thing off of that page, so maybe the Tyvek is very strong and I just don't know it. That's still coming up around that tip. I don't understand why. But I took it off so you can cover some good real estate. This, without the fine point tip, this really comes out well. Okay, so we're just going to put it down. Kind of in the middle. Yuck. Okay, yeah, I'm a tape girl. Glue just takes time to dry, and it requires more patience. While I am a very patient person, tape is just fast. Okay, I'm gonna clean that off. I don't know what's going on with it. Back on, give it a good twist, pin. Behave yourself. All right, let's put the hinge in. I'm gonna do it with tape. Well, I'm gonna do it with a mixture of tape and glue. I did that the first time. I really liked it. Let me find, I have some new tape. Oh, yes, I have some new tape. Look at this, 2 inches. Let me cut into this bad boy. I think I'll just need 1 strip of it. I do wish they would write, their size in there, but they just don't. Okay, so this, I'm just going to put tape on one side. I did this with the other one and it worked out really well. I think 1 strip will do. Yeah. Go this way. It's easier if I get my arm in and I can hold it better. So get it right on the edge. And this tool here. Okay. Burnish that down really well. That is a massive piece of tape. I like it. Okay, what thread or something is. Okay, so the tape side, and it's going over. I think I'm going to trim that. Yeah, I've got glue on the scissors. Okay, I'm going to take my pencil. You got to get if your hinge is crooked, so are your page is going to be crooked, right? So we can see our lines. It's kind of hard. I'm going to draw a pencil mark in there. These score lines here kind of match up with those. Kind of give you a good idea of center. And you want the same width here as you have here. Just kind of play with it, look at it, think about it, get it where you think you want it. As straight as you think it can be, which is subjective. I'd rather there be a rule to get this right. I draw a line. It is hard to draw on this Tyvek, but draw a line, hold it tight. I'm going to draw a line up in here too, so I know how high. Okay. So that gives us a landing point. So I'm going to take my tape off. Okay. Stuck to me. Take the tape off. That is massive. I guess I could have bent that back. I wasn't even thinking. Obviously bent that back. I didn't need to trim it. Okay, so our tape side is here, right? So I'm going to take this side, I'm holding this up in the air. I'm going to go to that line and find the line up there. Feel like you got it pretty straight. And just lay it down. It's stuck to me. There we go. Okay. So that is down. Now what I did with the other one is I picked it up. I'm going to take the pin out. Pick it up as far as you can pull it and put some glue back in there and glue on that one and just glue the rest of this, you know. I thought I took that off of there. Come off. Okay, so just lay it down. A rag. Wait a minute, don't be moving on me. Maybe I was a little presumptive there. So pick up run your fingers down in between, because that's glue. Maybe I do like tape better, I don't know. I'm still figuring this out. I thought I should give glue a try, you know? But it does take a minute to grab, that's for sure. Doesn't seem right. Yeah, I think you just have to be patient with it. Give it a minute. I wish I had a skinnier one of those. Using it anyway. I guess I could use this end. Okay, so I'm just going to set it aside and let it dry. This is going to be fun. Black shows everything, so it's going to drive me and my little OCD self crazy. But the next steps are to, look at that peeling up. Lay down. I will put paper over this, which will protect the hinge and the Tyvek, right, and clean this up. And then we will start making flips for all those pages. Okay, I discovered a problem and I discovered a fix. I can't cover the Tyvek right there, right? So I pulled out one of these Faber-Castell Pit Artist. I love these things. And I tested it right there. It does stick to the Tyvek, and it's not perfect. I also cut these little strips thinking, maybe I could put that there, but it really doesn't do the job. So I'm gonna color this one, and it's just simple. You just, it just goes, and you can get up under that a little bit. And to me, that's probably a little better than the strip. Maybe I'll go over it again, but I really think it's. Let's just see what that looks like to go over it again. Probably not bad. See if I can do it upside down. And I'm not worried about being messy on the inside because we're going to cover that up. So I think I'm going to let that be that and save these little strips for something else.